I always knew I wanted to become a mom, but when the time came, was I ready? How did you know you were ready to be a parent? Hey guys, welcome back to Grow with Kids, where we talk about raising children and traveling with them. I'm your host, Rena. Having children is a lifetime commitment and one that you cannot run away from. We all have our own pregnancy journey stories, and each one of those are special and unique in their own way. If you're new to this channel, definitely click on that subscribe button so that you could be alerted of videos posted every week. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button so that way I know the type of videos that you want to see. It is definitely easier to get pregnant when you're in your 20s rather than in your 30s and 40s. However, when you decide to have a baby is largely a function of where you are in your life. Did you find a partner earlier on in life or later on in life? Do you want a huge family or do you want a smaller family? Each age makes for a varying of different experiences as each woman. The physical and emotional aspects also are largely affected by how old you are. At the end of this video, you'll find list of pros and cons on getting pregnant in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. Definitely watch this video till the end for that information that would be helpful for you to decide when is the best time for you to get pregnant. Now, I always knew I definitely wanted to become a mom and I wanted to have 2 kids. And my husband was in alignment with that he wanted to have 2 to 3 kids. But because I got married in my early 30s, there was that much window that I knew that I would need to get pregnant. And in the beginning, we were settling in terms of our job. We needed to move in together at the same time because we were both working in different cities, so we needed to settle in one location that we would know that we would choose to stay for a longer time period. And then it was just getting familiar with each other and being comfortable with one another as well. So it took us 2 years after marriage to get to a stage where we knew where we were going to live and we were comfortable with where we were in our relationship. By this time, we were also comfortable in our careers. So all of those factors definitely played in our decision and was playing in our decision. But then I was hitting 34 and I'm like, I think we need to get pregnant because I have heard of 35 being the age where high-risk pregnancies begin. So I'm like, I don't want to get to that where I need to start doing extra tests or start taking extra vitamins or anything extra. I just want my first pregnancy to go smoothly without extra bits added to it. So we decided, okay, let's get pregnant. But it was not that easy. So when in movies they say you could get pregnant like this, that depends on age. It depends on your health. It depends on your age as well. It did not happen like this for us. It took us a long time to get pregnant. It took 1 miscarriage and a few years before I got pregnant. When I got pregnant, after my miscarriage, I was very careful. I went to my doctors on a regular basis. I had to make sure that I was taking the vitamins that I needed and that everything was good. There were 2 times during those 9 months that I really got scared because I had bleeding. And I did bed rest. I took it very easy. Career went to the backside. Family became my main focus. So I started focusing on the happy aspect of getting pregnant and getting ready for the baby. I spoke to my friends a lot, spoke to my family a lot. I focused on all the positive sides. I delivered my son at 36 weeks. He was healthy, happy, all good. Now, whether you're having your child in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, all depends on where you are in your life and how comfortable you are with everything happening around you. How comfortable are you with your career? How comfortable are you with your spouse or partner? And how emotionally ready are you? Those are all factors that definitely play in helping you decide when is the right time to have a baby. Keep watching as I tell you my experiences with my second pregnancy, not the same as my first one. Now there's pros and cons to both. The pros for having a baby in your 20s is one, you're young, so your eggs are also young, and the chances of you getting pregnant faster and easier are greater. The pregnancy itself is also easier. You don't get tired as much and you're still energized throughout your pregnancy. Risks within pregnancy-related risks are quite low in your 20s as well. Your parents are young. So after having your child, getting that help, or even during your pregnancy, getting that help from your parents is better as well. And then your grandparents get to experience your kids for a longer time period as well. So the pros are quite high when you're in your 20s. The cons, on the other hand, because you're just out of school, you haven't built that foundation for your career. Financially, you might not be quite stable, and emotionally, you might not be ready. You might be excited about having a family and becoming a mom, but are you really emotionally ready for that responsibility, for the sacrifices and everything that comes with being a mom? That's something that you wouldn't really think too much about in your 20s, because I know that there's a lot of decisions I made in my 20s where I didn't really think too much and just went full force. And that's what we do when we're in our 20s. If you have your child in your 30s, you're getting older, so your eggs are also getting older. So the pros and cons of getting pregnant in your 30s. Pros, your career is a lot more stable. You're stable in your career. You've built that foundation. Financially, you're a lot more secure. Emotionally, you are a lot more prepared because you've had time to think about it. And if you've been married for a few years, relationship-wise, you've had time to have that alone time. You have had that alone time with your partner. So, in those respects, you're more stable and more secure. And therefore, you're also ready to be pregnant. But the cons have now increased as well. Chances of getting pregnant like this are a little less. So it will take you some time. And if you wait till your mid-30s, you're now looked as a high-risk pregnancy. As you get older, you also have a tendency to put on a few pounds. So because you might be a little heavier, risks increase, pregnancy risks increase. That's why 35 is the mark where it's considered high risk, because pregnancy-related issues become higher at that age, from that age onwards. After I had my first son, I knew I wanted to have another child. So once our son was about 3 years old, because we wanted a 3-year gap between the two boys, we started preparing for our second child. We started when our son was 2 years old, so that by the time we had our second child, there'd be a 3-year gap between the two ages for the two kids. It didn't happen as we planned. Now, after my son, in total, I've been pregnant 6 times, and I have 2 kids to show for it. So, a lot of issues that we had to deal with, and by the time I got pregnant, a successful pregnancy, I was, by the time week 30 came, I was so ready to have him out of my body. The second pregnancy was not fun for me. I was always tired. My legs were swollen. I had put on more weight than I should have. And I got a lot more false alarms. I had my second child at week 34. And I was so relieved. And after that I decided, no more pregnancies. That's it. I'm done. I'm over with it. I have my 2 babies. Good. If you decide to have your child in your 40s, again, there's the pros and cons. The pros still hold in terms of maturity, career stability, financial stability, but the cons increase because you're older. The chances of you having twins increase simply because you're getting older. The slower eggs, and the chances of 2 eggs ovulating at the same time are greater. Risk of pregnancy-related issues also increase, and physically you get tired a lot quicker and a lot more during your pregnancy. Now, during my pregnancy in my 30s, I was exhausted with my second pregnancy. I was tired and always wanting to rest and ready to just deliver the baby because I couldn't take any more weeks. With my first, it was a totally different experience. I was excited, I was energized, we were shopping for clothes and items needed to decorate his room, everything. So, as years progress, how you conceive and how long it takes you to conceive, and then the pregnancy journey itself is different. I hope you like this video. Definitely hit that like, subscribe and alert button to know when the next videos are coming up. Keep checking back for 8 reasons why you are ready to be a parent. Until next time.